While I was in the university, I had a senior colleague. This was a brother that we admired. I did. This was a brother that I admired his devotedness, his academically, he was excellent. But by the time that he was in second or third year, started from remedial, so by the time that he was in 200 level, which was his third year, the brother left the university. And on asking questions, we found that he said in his secondary school he cheated during WAEC. And because of that, he feels like he is building on a wrong foundation. So he left the university. He said he is going back to rewrite his WAEC. Now, why am I telling you this story? Sometimes you lay certain foundations that in the future you would regret. Not all of us would eventually regret to the point of going back to correct our past. Not all of us will eventually have that burden that does not allow us move forward without going backward to correct what was wrong. Not all of us will have the same experience. But how can you know? How can you be so sure? How can you know that in the future I may regret or the burden of regret may pull me backwards? The only way is to do what is right now, do what you ought to do in the way it ought to be done right now and every other time. That way, you don't have any fear that I may eventually come to repent someday, or I may eventually come to regret someday that I would have a need to go back. And life will continue. Nobody will wait for you and say, see, this person is going back. Let's wait for him for a while. No, life will continue to go on. So that is the danger of doing things in the spur of the moment. Eventually, you may come to say, had I known. If it ends there, it's fine. It's even a small thing. But sometimes it does not end there. You say, had I known continuously because it keeps hitting your conscience again and again and again until you can no longer help but return to where you need to go and correct those things. So you should be conscious of whatever decision you are making, especially as a young person, as a teenager, because at that time you want to do things at the spur of the moment. You do not have the repercussion in mind. You do not have the consequence in mind. You just want to do things for the sake of doing things. You should be wise. You're welcome.